for some people, it's a good night, actually. Lenore and Barbara and Julia joined us from Portugal. So thank you, special thank you, because that's such a deep night. And Anne and Renata and Michelle, thank you very much. And, you know, it's so special what you join us. And we're gonna, just to start, you all on time. We're gonna start official program maybe in 5 minutes to let more people, you know, to join us. But I'm gonna start with introduction of the people who are gonna help me to make my book birthday very special. And I'm gonna enlarge the view, what you can really see, you know, the speaker. So I'm gonna start, oh, just hold on. Just a moment. And hello, Steve. And I don't want to miss anyone. And Regina. And Hital. And Nicole. And Sneha. And Oli. So good evening.
Good evening, Dr. Sokolina. How are you?
Nice to see you.
Good to see you. Sorry, I'm driving, so I cannot do the, you know, face.
But, you know, that's great. But you joined me. I'm so happy. You know, that's great. So I'm going to start with introduction. I'm going to start with Jessica Lidenhausen. That's my friend from TED. We used to be on TEDx board together. And I'm gonna enlarge the picture of the person I'm gonna introduce. Just a moment. Так. Oh, так, no, that doesn't work like that. Okay. So Jessica, she has her book on a background. Changing a little related to that and improve your health. So if you have questions for Jessica, you can put them in the chat and we get to those questions as well. And then I have Dr. Katie Kennedy, that's my friend from Mewing Conference. That's a medical doctor who invented a very special system called treatment, you know, from strength, neck up strength, about, I would call it physical therapy from neck up. I'm sorry, I'm gonna mute some people when I'm talking, but everybody have a chance to hear. Yes, and Kati have a special physical therapy system. Just a moment. Physical therapy system. Just a second, we're gonna mute. I'm gonna ask. Yes, Kati have a special physical therapy system. It's actually in that very nice pink color, what increase the strength of the tongue and lips and all the system in the mouth, which is so important for airway development or improving the airway function. Then I have just a moment. Yes, then I have an author, Susie McNamara. We went through this writing journal together, and she has her book, a wonderful book called Magical Trip. No, yeah, you can unmute Susie and just give the name, right? Because we only see half of the book.
Right. It's called The Silkworm, the Magician, and the Sister Tree, A Tale of Love and Loss. It's a memoir.
And that's it. We went through the same journey, and Susie today gonna talk about modern author way, which I think you're gonna find interesting. And then we have a wonderful doctor who I also meet on another Mewing conference this year, Dr. Anastasia Vasilov. She wrote the book Return to Function, and we're going to talk about this lost secret, chewing. That function what we use every day, but if we use it in the right way, you can really do magical improvement, or really feel the difference. And Anastasia joined us from Greece, so thank you very much, because it's really deep night now in Greece. Then we have my other great friend and supporter, Dr. Joseph Gaudio, who also wrote a wonderful book what I use almost every day in my practice, and that's Parents Guide for Sleep and Breathing Disorders. Yes, it's maybe not such a it's maybe a scientific name, but the whole book is very entertaining because it's made like a cartoon, and people see the pictures and they can relate, and really that help. This great book really helped to educate parents about sleep and breathing disorders. And then I have my great friend, Dr. Catherine Aldelman. She's author of the book AI Advantage, and you can see on the background, she talk about using AI in dentistry, or we can apply in medicine. And today, Dr. Gaudio and Catherine Aldelman and Kathy Kennedy and Susie McNamara are going to be in moderator room, and they're going to talk about the questions they discuss in the book, and you all can join that discussion. And then I have my friend Lina Zeldovich. She's author of 2 books, wonderful book, The Dark Matter and Living Medicine. So they're both related to biological function and microbiome, and she talk about alternative treatment to antibiotics, which are always very passionate about. So now we're officially gonna start the presentation. I'm gonna share the screen, and I have a question in the chat. Yes, this session gonna be recorded. Yes, it's going to be recorded, and I'm going to put it on YouTube, and I'm going to let all of the guests know about that, what you can come back to some questions and, or some moments of this wonderful evening. So I'm going to start sharing the screen. Just a moment, I have a couple technical moments with that. I'm just wondering if you see the screen.
No, they didn't
Ah,
share
no.
it yet. Share. Ну, по-моему, зашло.
No.
Да.
Do you see the screen or no?
Nobody sees the screen, Марин.
I press the share.
Ну, так она где-то спряталась здесь, наверное. Ты же не выбрал. Подними это. Скажи share. Вот.
Okay, do you see the screen now?
Yes, we do.
Oh, excellent. So this way I can, so first of all, thank you very much for all being here. And tonight is not only my birthday, but actually celebrating of something what I care for so long inside of me. It's a story. And this story begins with the question why we can sleep, breathe as a nature intended. And also the question what bothered me every day in my practice, why so many people, even young people, carry so many chronic disease. And that's become a book, what connect science and humanity. And I wrote this book to share what I know as a doctor and what I feel as a human. I didn't want to write another textbook. I really want what the memory of this book linger after the last page. And as many of you know, I moved from St. Petersburg, Russia to New York City, and I had three things. I had my dental degree from the medical school in Russia, and I put the picture of that school on the screen. And I had a suitcase, medical degree from dental school, and deep curiosity. And I start everything new with a new language, new system, and I have to learn what social security is and how to use laundromat. But one thing never changed. It was my fascination with the human body, how it heal, compensate, and adapt. And the immigrant, I have to learn everything by observing. And that's the way how I practice medicine and dentistry, and now that's how I write. And I have two very different education, because my education when I was in dental school in Russia was really related to the fact that we had a scarcity of the medical supplies. And Zara, can you please mute Zara? Medical supplies and everything you don't know.
Аля,
Zara,
ты
can you
знаешь,
please mute?
где это, Аля?
Just a moment.
You
yes,
can mute anybody. You can mute anybody.
Yes, I'm looking how to do that. Okay,
Yeah.
yes.
Maria, go to
Yes.
participants.
Yes, I know, but I'm not a host right now. You can mute it. We have this technical system. Okay, did you mute? So that my medical dental degree in Russia was really design what we have to understand of the root of a lot of disease. So you have to be very creative and find the treatment even in the scarcity system. But my dental education in New York was different. We learn how to think fast. We learn how to think with the systems and how to create algorithm to have the best treatment possible. My story built on a real people, on the patients, friends, colleagues, and my own reflections. And the life of the people who I met, they become a windows in a pattern what I observe, in my practice or in real life, and we all share. And some of the patterns might be very close to your heart. For example, how mouth breathing, not just to change how our faces look, but also our emotions, and how simple act as a nasal hygiene, cleaning the nose and moisturizing the nose can make us calm at night. And it's, I hope it's going to become a common practice, just like brushing the teeth is. Also, how bruxism and grinding and acid reflux tell us a huge story about microbiome, that universe inside of us, and how TMJ pain in the jaw joint, actually, that pain that a lot of people struggle or suffer, start not in the jaw, but in the neck and the shoulders, or maybe in the eyes, how we observe the world. And how orthodontics, if we start early, it's not about straight teeth, but about survival, evolution. And we're going to talk tonight about our ability to chew, how nature designed. And I want to remind readers what medicine is not only the science, but it's also about the dialogue between systems, medical and dental, between generations, because there are some very good forgotten methodology, what we can bring to the modern life, and what healing happened in the connection between patient and the doctors, between parent and the child. And what I put on this picture, this family, I really learned a lot from them. This gentleman in the age 40, he began experience heart palpitations every single morning. And they were dismissed as a stress. You know, we're all going through a difficult period of our life. Also, he noticed what these palpitations related, happened after he was eating fast food on the previous night, but no one referred him to cardiologist. And he snored and he battled acid reflux, all this, he got through the days with exhaustion. And one morning, his heart stopped, and his wife found him on the floor. He collapsed in the kitchen. And my book was attempt to create the connection, kind of build the bridge between science and events we observe, what happened around us. And people who know me, they know I really love evolution, and I'm a big student of evolution. And I went to Galapagos actually to get a close view on evolution, and I'm fascinated with the iguana story. So on a picture in front of you, it's a regular green iguana. They live on a land and they eat vegetations, leaves, and they can swim. They can stay in the water for 2 minutes. But it was some events happened, and Galapagos Island, they form as a volcanic nature, and iguana was drifted on the wood from South America to Galapagos, and they learned to adapt. And in that process, because it was just volcanic land, not much vegetation, they learned how to live underwater. And black iguana, which is on the bottom picture, can stay underwater for 45 minutes. And, they change the color to be really blended well with volcanic landscape, and they learn how to eat seaweed. And this is a great story of adaptation. And on the picture on the right, it's a dodo bird. This picture is, drawn because this dodo bird adapt to the comfortable safety life on a Mauritius island and lost ability to fly. And then circumstances change, and people come, and people brought predators, and this bird did not survive. And for me, I notice in my practice on every day seeing patient seems like we're adapting to something. We adapt to our life, to the fast pace, to the food we're eating, and the features what we actually got might not be so good for survival human as a species. And one of those features is the mouth breathing. People don't think about how they breathe, but a lot of them who come to my practice, they breathe through the mouth. So I really hope that message, I also want to bring that message in the shape of the story. And I want to also mention what being a modern author today it's it's not what I expect. And as you notice, I believe, and thank you very much for all being, on my event for me. But being a modern author, the important component of that is to build a community of people who believe in the same value, in curiosity, compassion, and connection. And I really want, my book to turn pain into meaning and complexity into clarity by blending different, stories of evolution, clinical experience, and my own Jewish heritage. And when I think about what it means to be the modern author, it's not what Dostoevsky put, Crime and Punishment on this picture. It's not like going to secluded cabin and write the book and then give it to the publisher, even though I'm sure it happened. And those a lot of great books waiting for the time when this book gonna be discovered for natural course of event. But for my book, what I see every day: sleep problem, breathing problem, bruxism, high blood pressure, allergies, stuffy nose. Those are signal what something need to be done, what something wrong on a deeper level. And I really want to evoke people with my book, what they can recognize themselves in a hero of my book, and maybe apply the ideas what I describe in the book for themselves, for their own health, or for the health of the family. So I understand what there are a lot of noise out there and everybody posting and writing and shooting for attention, but I hope even if one person read my book and start to breathe easier and think with more clarity and sleep better, that's going to be my success. And for people who already support me, and that I'm so deeply thankful. And you encourage me when I doubt, and listen to my stories, and I really love telling stories. And a lot of people will support me in a different way by reading my book and reflecting and talking what they learn. So the best gift for my birthday would be if you can amplify my voice, and this help me to spread the word about the book. Because this project is not about me, it's about all of us: doctors, patients, parents, futurists. So if one thing I want readers to take away from the book, it would be curiosity. But maybe there is another way, not just one way. Because I think curiosity is the foundation of all changes and discoveries. So gonna open the heart and cage minds, and people start breathe a little bit deeper and chew a little bit stronger and feel a little bit more awake. So first of all, I want to, as a beginning of this evening, I want to thank you, all of you, for being part of my story and for letting me be part of yours. And I stop sharing and I can see all of you. So now I'm gonna start introducing and do little interviews for my authors. And my first question would be for Anastasia, who joined us from Greece. Anastasia wrote this book, Return to Function, and Anastasia talked about power of chewing as a forgotten human function. Why do you think, Anastasia, modern diet and orthodontic habits weaken natural, our skull, and what happened to the body and airway when we bring the proper chewing back?
First of all, happy birthday to you. I'm very happy to be invited to your party, let's say, and being around all of you. And introducing my work as well, which is very similar to yours. And I want to say that what I that happened, what happened, to answer your question, is that the modern lifestyle with the more soft food and the baby boomers stopped breastfeeding. They became with the pacifiers and the mashed baby food. So we have seen the development that changed to our cranium and the muscles. So myofunctional therapy and orthodontics came as an answer to this problem. But then again, what I missed from my university when I studied stomatologist as a 6-year medicine school, it was the function of chewing. Actually, the why we have these organs, the teeth in our mouth. So I learned a lot about fascia because I knew a lot of good anatomy, the topographic anatomy of the face and the neck, and that made me understand more about the fascia, which is an advanced anatomy. We didn't learn that much then about that. And then myofunctional therapy, which I have introduced myself like 12 years ago, and I work with. And all these things are the connection between the functions, the anatomy and the physiology, which it's not connected in our universities, and how that transforms our real daily life. And that the daily things that we do and repeat can change our shape, our cranium, our fascia, everything. So sleeping, bruxism, sleep apnea, and all these problems, I address myself too. And I can see that people that they have sleep apnea, they don't eat properly, they don't chew at all. They have food without chewing, so they are mouth breathers to do that. And you can see that everything is connected. And that's what you can see in this book, the connection between all of this, the anatomy, the fascia, the functions, and the daily life, how that affects everything, and how can that makes us grow, not age, how can make us live better, not with problems, and breathe better, have an open airway, have it's similar with the next book that is near me, the strengthen the neck up. It's the anti-gravity system, how I named it in this book, that can produce through the process of chewing, which is a very strong process and can keep us up if we do it right with our feet grounded. So with a strong tongue, with a space in the mouth for the tongue and a strong strengthened tongue, we can produce this anti-gravity system for our body and be healthier, live longer, and all these.
Great things. That's all great things. So I'm going to mention Anastasia Vasilov, Return to Function. And this book is on Amazon in an e-form. You can get it also in a paper form. And I'm going to put next to the recording of that, I'm going to put all the links for our authors and moderators and all the inventions, so you'll be able to find. So my next guest is Dr. Jessica Ledenhausen.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. So this is our guest from United States, but originally from Sweden. And I like to mention that fact for Jessica was a golf champion of Sweden. At certain point, yes, she was a golf champion. And Jessica is very passionate about also changing the little habits to reach, optimize health. So Jessica blends Swedish preventative philosophy with a modern functional dentistry. So tell me, Jessica, tell all of us, how can Scandinavian model, where mouth care consider whole body care, in the United States, we kind of on a different angles a little bit. So guide cultural shift in how we practice and teach oral health in United States. It's a little bit separate. So what one connection between mouth and a body, what still surprise health professionals when you talk about oral care?
Oh, sorry. Do you want me to answer the second part only? Or
let's start with the second part, and or you can start with the first part. I gave you both.
I think
questions.
I'll start to say thank you, and you're such an inspiration to me, and I think everybody. So thank you for having me, and we're happy being here. And so you ask about the Scandinavian culture, which is different. It's not all just perfect, which I've been asked so many times, even since I went to college in the 80s in California. People just assume that you live in some glorious, I don't know what, but it's pretty good. But it's not perfect at all. But what comes to mind when it's the cultural difference, when it's shaping health, I think it's an interesting thinking because it's a big difference. So here are a few things. The Scandinavian approach I use in my book, it's lagom, which is a Swedish word. It means not too much or too little, but just enough for you. And that's, for example, I mean, I like to work out and whatever, but if you don't want to work out, you can just go for a little walk or just move your body. And that's very how Swedes are. So that's a big picture, but I can zoom in on that to give you some examples. So, as I said, walking, so outdoor living as a norm. So people walk, they take this public transportation just because then they get outside a little bit and move around. And then you're at work. You don't have to take the car to a gym to work out a little bit and then take the car to work. So it's baked in our way of being. And yes, so that's how I used to bike to work in my Hinsdale suburb of Chicago. People couldn't believe what they saw with high heels and a skirt and you bike to work. Why not? I thought. So that's an example. And we are much more into nature. So we have for example, babies sleep outside. If you go for a walk with your baby and the baby is asleep and you're going to go inside, you leave the baby outside for another half an hour, whatever, to get some fresh air. It's like a normal thing. Or preschoolers are out for hours every day in preschool. Or it goes on and on and on. So, and we just dress for the occasion. There's no bad weather. It's just bad clothing. And it's so normal. So when you go, I visit now, I'm almost a little taken aback because I forgot how it is. And to go through in my book, Oral, I have 4 pillars I work around. So there's breathing, sleeping, eating, and moving. Nothing, I mean, to surprise you with. But if I think in those terms, to tell you some examples. Around eating, in Sweden, people take time to have breakfast, lunch, and dinner and actually sit down. It's okay to sit down for a few minutes to eat. It's fine. And then we have a fantastic thing called fika, which is a pause in your day. And there have been coffee shops called fika in New York, I know. I think they're closed, but they were there at least. And you ask a colleague, let's go and grab a fika at 3 o'clock because you had a little time between patients or whatever. And you sit for 20 minutes and you grab a coffee or a little sandwich or something. And it's the most normal thing to do. And you catch up on things, work or life, and just spend some time. But I want to say the last thing about this would be oral care, though. I had to look that up because I haven't worked there for years. They still have extended free dental care up to 21 years old. When I was back home almost 30 years ago, it was up till 19, 20 years old, free care, which meant we triple booked patients because they don't show up. So free is not always great. And they still have a lot of cavities for specific groups. But yeah, so it's okay, but it's not amazing, even though it's free, which is interesting.
That's
Same.
that's a nice approach. You give us a little glimpse of Sweden, which is
Yeah.
very nice. And I have to admit, I met with Jessica in a Swedish cafe and we had fika in New York City. So we stopped for 20 minutes and I find it great.
Yeah. Yes, we had a great time as always.
Yes. So now I want to introduce another author, Lina. Lina, close the screen. Lina. Yeah, Lina Zildovich. She's the author of 2 books, The Other Dark Matter, which is very important. We're talking about number 2. Yeah, they're a little bit blurry. And then the second one, The Living Medicine. And I can have to say what Lina is very inspiring friend. I was on Lina book launch, The Living Medicine, and it's talking about fogs, that special way to approach your health without antibiotics. And I like that idea. And she wrote about scientists who work on it in Georgia. So I went to Georgia, some people who follow me, and I bought the fogs. I brought it. And this is, they actually in a liquid form, and I have a spray, and I use the fogs now instead of antibiotics when I have a sore throat. So that's, real, book into life. So, Elena, and I'm also very passionate, just like Jessica, about microbiome. You wrote about invisible life, microbes, bacteria, and future of living medicine. So what writing about those words taught you about coexistence, between us and bacteria in both, like, can that be living medicine, living organism, our future medicine? What you learned while you were writing your book?
Oh, well, first of all, I'm not a medical doctor, not a dentist. I'm a science journalist. And generally that means that I follow my passions. When I find an interesting topic, I just follow my passions. And I find a lot of interesting topics. My personal interest was always human body and health and disease. I was kind of a sickly child, spent a lot of time in bed when other children ran around playing snowballs and snow fights in winter. And I always wondered, why are they playing and why I'm sitting in bed with a fever? So when I grew up, I turned that interest into what I do for a living. So the living medicine, that's the latest book, kind of evolved also from my childhood. I grew up in a scientific family. There were all kinds of scientific journals and magazines at home. And as a child, I found an article in one of them that depicted kind of an interesting organism, a phage. And I didn't know anything about phages at the time. I was 8, but I tried to read it anyway because it looked kind of interesting. And I kind of got a sense that that very thing depicted in that book could fight infectious disease, such as dysentery, which I've had before. And I was wondering, why was I not drinking that thing? And it just kind of stuck with me. So fast forward to, I want to say, 10 years ago, I've learned that phages actually been practiced in different parts of the world in the early 19th century, way before the antibiotics were discovered. Phages were discovered by 2 different people, 2 different scientists, one in Paris and one in Georgia, in Tbilisi, and they formed a collaboration. And phages were so successful in curing all sorts of diseases, dysentery, cholera, even bubonic plague, which at the time was basically a death sentence. So I was really attracted by their story, which eventually evolved into a book. So what phages are is, bacteriophages are viruses that attack bacteria only. They're not harmful to people at all. They're very specific. A phage that kills salmonella will not damage your microbiome because it only kills salmonella. And a phage that, let's say, kills Staphylococcus aureus, which can be antibiotic resistant, MRSA, will only kill that specific bacteria and leave everything else undamaged, which means that phages are significantly better than antibiotics. We are running into the issues with antibiotic resistance now. Well, that does not apply to phages because phages and bacteria evolved for millions of years alongside each other. And so if bacteria evolves resistant to a phage, the phage will evolve to attack it better. They've been doing it for millions of years, way before humans came along. So, yeah, I kind of lived with that book for about 3 or 4 years until it got published. It was a very, very interesting journey. Marina, I'm not sure I totally answered your question.
But it's a fascinating thing. And I was so surprised when I was in the Russian medical school, like I mentioned in my presentation, we study phages. But then somehow this knowledge was completely forgotten, at least for me. And next time I heard about phages was when I met Lina at American Association of Healthcare Journalists on a conference in New York. And I was immediately, fascinated by the story. And I'm so thankful that Lina, came to this event and shared with us again the phages story, which I'm a little bit of Sherlock Holmes. That's why my book is a medical mystery. I did a little Sherlock Holmes exploration in Georgia, and I find a lot of serendipity with the friends in Georgia, and George Balanchine, some Lenore here knows him very well. So with that, with your book, so that's a great book, and I'm going to put information underneath this. Yeah, and now we're going to very difficult technical part of my birthday book celebration. We create 4 rooms with moderators, and moderators I introduced earlier. So now I'm going to open the breakout rooms. I'm going to name them so you can choose. I'm not going to assign you to any room. You can choose your room. So room number 1 going to be Modern Author Journey with Susie McNamara. Room number 2 going to be Dr. Katie Kennedy, going to discuss rethinking treatment from the neck up. How important what form follow function, how important to establish function for treatment of a lot of disease, including sleep apnea, orthodontic treatment, and so forth. And, physical therapists, I have very respected physical therapists here, so I think it's a lot of serendipity on that. And room number 3, it's going to be Dr. Joseph Gowdy, talk with the participants about recognizing hidden signs of pediatric sleep apnea, how, you can see it in kids. And room number 4, going to be with Dr. Catherine Aldelman. She's going to talk about medicine and AI. What's the human size of AI in medicine and how it can bring us, benefits and what we should be aware of. So now for all of you, you have to press more, and you're going to see the breakout rooms. No, you're going to open just a moment. I'm going to open. Yes, and I open all the rooms. And for you to see the rooms, you have to go into more and press, and then you see the rooms, and you can, assign yourself, join to, whatever rooms, and people who are moderators and people who help moderators, I'm going to ask you to join the respected rooms. And we're going to be in a room for 10 minutes to discuss all the questions, and then I'm going to send you the message to close it up. Unmute. А у меня все unmute. Они же... unmute их. Окей, unmute их. У них у всех открывается микрофон. Please make sure you unmute that you're going to be in the breakout room for 10 minutes, and then I'll send the message. What?
I'm sorry, Maria, but I think I cannot find the rooms.
You have to go to the more.
More.
To
Okay.
more and open the breakout rooms and get to the room. And Catherine, you need to go to your room number 4 because we have a lot of participants already in more and breakout rooms. Mariash, do you see the breakout rooms? More on the bottom of the screen, it says more.
Bottom right.
Bottom right says more. You see, right? You see bottom right says 3 dots, more.
No,
Здесь ты можешь нажать и спросить человека, что он тебе сказал. Он не может. Может быть, не может.
Окей. Olga, did you find how to get to the Mariash? You still didn't find Barbara. On the bottom of the screen, you have on the right side, you have 3 dots. You see 3 dots. You press on those 3 dots, and that's gonna be. Do you see the 3 dots?
yes, I
Press. Mariash, unmute. That. You need to unmute. Barbara, do you see the 3 dots?
see the 3 dots, but I think it's on the phone, it's different one. That's why I cannot. I don't
On
see
a
the
phone.
Yes.
Yeah, it's there too. It's there on a phone as well. Так. Barbara, I know you on a computer. It's on the right side.
Found it. I'm just trying to. My husband, he's the dentist, the doctor.
I got it. You like
So I don't know. So it says join breakout room, correct?
Join breakout room, and you choose your room and you join.
I'm waiting for my husband to decide which one he wants to join.
Okay.
Probably.
But you
He's
can
doing
join
all-
anyone, and you can move from room to room. It's not.
Okay.
It's not.
I'll
Maria,
choose this one first for him.
yes. Choose it.
Okay.
No, I don't have that. Okay.
No. It should be there too, Mariash.
No, I don't see that. I just have everything already. That's fine.
If anybody else have a problem with the breakout room, let me know.
I'm clicking on Dr. Katie Kennedy.
Yes.
But it's not opening.
You put join.
Yes, but it's nothing.
No, there are 6 people inside that room. That's not taken. You need to press join, Barbara. You need to press join. Okay.
Okay, I found the phone is different one. Yes.
Okay. Hello, Dmitry. Дин, сейчас все в breakout rooms, и после этого мы сделаем сразу же сюрприз.
Окей. Ой. Так, я сюда. Нас слышно, Марин?
Прекрасно. Еще только не сейчас, еще не сейчас. Все, думаешь, уже можно закрыть?
Подожди, так ничего, да еще плюс.
Сколько еще?
Минут 5.
написать им, что через 5 минут закрою. Ты можешь зайти в комнату сейчас, сказать мне, что в комнату. Я боюсь здесь заходить.
Почему?
Пойти сюда и посмотреть.
Ты что не нажмем? Что делаешь?
Нет, я assign людей, чтобы они были... Так, 3 минуты.
Эмилия написала, что не можно зайти.
Что?
Эмилия де Понт.
Не может зайти куда?
Никуда.
Ага. Хорошо. Все, я ее assign. Ты напиши ей, что я ее assign. Она не assignится. Все. Дин, 2 минуты. Я это скажу. Я это скажу, пожалуйста. I'm gonna close all breakout rooms right now, and you come back to the main hall, and we're gonna discuss what you find out in your breakout rooms. Welcome back, and I'm gonna ask, participants of breakout rooms and moderators what they learned, what idea they, breakthrough idea, what they develop by being in a breakout rooms. Yeah, I'm still waiting for everybody to come back. Hello, Olga.
Cheers. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you, Lenore. That's such a beautiful comment.
So true.
Yeah, we have to do it on a regular basis.
We were we were kicked out, right?
Yes. So I'm gonna start with Susie. Please tell us what your group came to the idea. What does it mean to be the modern author?
Well, I think we learned that we needed way more time.
That's number one. Yes. But I have to I'm gonna add to that point. I really find, this is a group of absolutely amazing people, also dear to my heart. So the best gift you can give it to me if you connect. So people who want to leave social media information or other information in the chat, I'm gonna really appreciate that. So the other can connect, or you can ask me, and if I can do the introduction. So what other points, Susie, you learned from your
we were just talking about, as you instructed, the modern author journey. And, we didn't really get a chance to go too far, but it was wonderful learning about Lenore and where she came to this party from, and into Olga too. And I think we might have some budding authors, which I'm very excited about, and I'm here to encourage them. And I'm sure Maria feels the same way.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it was fun. We just, just the basics of getting started, of talking about like getting your ideas together and exploring the idea of going on that long but wonderful journey of writing a book.
So my next question, moderator Katie, Dr. Kennedy, what you decide about form following function, function following form, what actually can be changed in a modern medicine to make it more effective and maybe more preventative?
Right, Maria, like I think you all said it, we need more time. I know we all could just talk about this for hours. I think everyone here is so passionate about these topics. I know, really, I think the training backgrounds, coming out hasn't caught up with where this group is yet. And so you all are leading it. Everybody that is on the forefront really is leading this. And I love, like with Michael on our talking about one connected system, chew with your feet or walk with your eyes, that it's all interconnected. And for me, in medicine, when we all kind of go into our specialties, we're very narrow focused. If you're a cardiologist, you're kind of just focused on that. If you're doing gastroenterology. And so that's where I'm coming from in the background. And this issue is in plain sight. And I was saying, when I walk down the halls of my hospital and I would look into a room, and I'm looking, in a room, everybody has the open mouth position. And I think, more collaboration like this, like we said, we could do this again, Maria, and spend even more time talking and sharing everyone's experiences, everyone's background, to help really guide this, how this is such a massive issue that just, we're not there yet in my background. But we're getting there. We're making headway on it. And but really looking at and it's been such a slow process for this issue to creep into our lifestyle. It's taken many years. This is like you mentioned, an evolution. It takes many years for these changes to happen. And then then you wake up and then here we are, and really behind on living a high quality of life. And that's what everybody on this call is trying to accomplish. So collaboration, education, awareness, ideas, tools, books, all this is wonderful. Really, really wonderful.
Great, thank you. So now I want to find out from Dr. Joseph Gaudio how we can recognize the hidden sign of pediatric sleep apnea earlier. And thank you very much. I'm so sorry. I want to bring everybody attention. Dr. Joseph Gaudio, he's so generous. He put the message in the chat. What everybody who wants his book, he can just send him the email and he will send the PDF file what you can print or, have, in a digital form. So please tell us what a hidden sign of pediatric sleep apnea.
So I think, again, in terms of what we discussed, there's a lot of commonalities in terms of how we all got sucked into this, rabbit hole. Most of us had experiences with our own children. And when we first heard it for the first time, again, the old saying is, once you see it, you can't unsee it. And the experiences we had with our kids, with our spouses, with our parents, and all of the things they went through, of course, we all say, I wish I had known this years ago. I had done a presentation at one point entitled, based on all this information, what your child's face tells you about their sleep. And so with regards to, again, being able to assess, from physical characteristics, just all of the things that, we now know as those characteristics, crooked teeth are a symptom of an airway problem, venous pooling, behavioral issues, concentration, focus, anxiety, bedwetting. I mean, on and on and on. And the parents just didn't have a way to connect this. And so parents would literally say to me when I first got really involved in this was, what are you talking about? And how come my pediatrician and my primary and, all these people that I'm going to, why are they not telling me any of this? So lots of frustration. That was really the whole impetus of putting a booklet together. It was done with a dear friend of mine who was my marketing person at the time. That was back probably 2016, 2017. Steve, I know we had met, at the ADA meeting when the ADA first made the statement with regards to children, sleep disorders, and at least recognizing that. And so, now at this point, unfortunately, my co-author, Mark Curtis, passed away about 2.5 years ago. Have learned a lot more since we put this together. And in his memory, I just would love to share this with anybody who's interested, being that he's no longer with us. And I think it's just a way to continue to pass the information along, pay it forward, allow people to recognize it. And even if it can't be treated by the person in that practice, at least recognize it so that we can get these kids off to someone who can help them along in that growth and development that is so necessary to grow their way out of this.
Thank you very much, Doctor. And we have a last room, Dr. Katrin Alderman, who has such a cool topic within medicine and AI. So tell us, can AI replace the human touch? What you decide in your room, and I noticed the room was very popular, so people are passionate about AI.
I think my answer will surprise everybody and surprised everybody. The question is not, will it replace me? The question is that we are humans. As a doctor, humans, we have limitations. We cannot keep up with all the research, with all the updates, with analyzing big data. So AI is here to amplify what we can do as a doctors to help us to provide better care, better diagnosis, and just being a better doctors for our patients. So AI is here to help us to do impossible, what we couldn't do before AI. So I not only say it will not replace us, but it's here to be our best supporter, best assistant. And the faster we learn to do that, to use it and utilize it, we are better doctors because we will have superpowers as a doctors to provide to our patients. Because ultimately we are humans and we have limit on our energy, time, ability to learn things, and the AI is here to complement that, to amplify that, and to really help us to shine at our best light. And I teach about it and I talk about it, and that's what I discussed in the room as well. So
Yeah, thank you very much. That's so good. And now I have a surprise. And that surprise is so great because it's actually from my childhood. So, surprise, has a name. Her name is Dina Levin. She's the daughter of my English teacher from my school in Russia. But, you know, several years passed by, and that girl who I met when I was in the 7th grade, she was in the 1st grade, become wonderful singer. And she also does audiobook. And you might hear her voice in my book, because my book definitely gonna have an audio. So right now, Dina brought us a very special surprise to enlighten our evening. And she's actually joining us from Toronto, Canada. So thank you very much, Dina and Dima. And I'm gonna unmute you.
Hello, everyone. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Shalom, Malachei
what a wonderful surprise I got on my birthday. And that's so, so special. Especially, somebody from my childhood, like my story. And, Dina sing in Hebrew, and actually heroes of my story, they're Jewish immigrants, and they, talk a little bit about the topic as well. So that was very, very special and a beautiful voice. And great comments. I really wish not only Dina would see, so thank you very much for those wonderful comments, but also Dina's mom, who, going through different phase right now. I will copy all the comments and I will send it to her, so she would feel, proud, and she put so much. So again, as I mentioned to you, this beautiful party would not be party without all of you. So you are here, you're part of my story. I'm so thankful. It's actually my first virtual experience. Some people who visit, in live party, they had that. And, virtual are very important because I have supporters all around the world. And I definitely, part of the book launch gonna be virtual. And, I recommend you to connect with each other because that's going to make it more meaningful to you. And again, thank you very much, Dina and Dima, for this wonderful surprise. And thank you very much to all the authors and moderators and people who support me on this journey. I have my team here also. So thank you very much, Mariana and, Olga. Thank you to everyone here. And I'm looking forward to continue, Zara, celebrating my book with you, as soon as it's going to be released. So release date going to be May 2026. So thank you very much. I'm going to,
Thank you.
You can unmute. Thank you very much. If some people have any questions, you can ask me now. I plan to do twice moderator room, but it's a late evening and I want you all to enjoy, your family. So thank you very much for supporting me, for joining me, and people who want to be part of this beautiful author community, which I'm going to be so specially catered over the next 6 months. Please join us. If you have any question how to join that exclusive author community, you can send me a message and I'll answer all these questions. Otherwise, thank you very much for being here and for supporting this journey.
Thank you, Maria. It was
Happy
wonderful.
birthday.
You kept me awake and happy. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Marina.
So
Happy
have
birthday,
a good
Maria.
night.
Happy
Thank you
birthday.
very much, Michelle. Thank you. It's so special to see you here and see you next to us in Manhattan.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night, everyone.
Bye, Michael.
Thank you.
We'll
Good
connect.
night, everyone.
Thank you so much.
Maria, thank you. It was
Yeah.
so great to meet you all.
Great
Pleasure.
event.
Thank you. And I
Pleasure.
hope,
Great meeting you. Bye.
people connect the information. Thank you very much.
Happy birthday, and we
Thank
all
you.
love you very much. Okay.
Thank you,
We're all
Catherine.
thankful
Thank
to
you for
you.
supporting.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you,